is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night. Morning Meditations with C.J. Marshall.
Good morning. What would it take for you to believe hard evidence? Would you actually have to be there? Would you have to feel it, or could you just read it, or maybe even hear about it? What would it take for someone to convince you of something? The answer to that reveals what type of heart we have. And in Luke 16, the rich man and Lazarus both die, and the rich man is tormented, and Lazarus is comforted. And the rich man is in so much agony that he wants his brothers to not come, to not come to where he is. And so listen to what he says in verse 27. After talking with Abraham a while, he says this. Then he said, I beg you, therefore, Father, that you would send him to my father's house, for I have 5 brothers, that he may testify to them, lest they also come to this place of torment. Abraham said to him, they are Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, no, Father Abraham, but if one goes to them from the dead, they will repent. But he said to him, if they do not hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rise from the dead. And so Lazarus, being in torment, wants Abraham to go back. Tell my brothers, send Lazarus back, so he doesn't have to go through what I'm going through. And even Jesus, when the Pharisees asked for a sign, in Matthew 12, verse 39, the scribes and the Pharisees asked for a sign in verse 38. And notice what he says in verse 39. But he answered and said to them, an evil and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no sign will be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Then the men of Nineveh will rise up in the judgment with this generation and condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonah. And indeed something greater than Jonah is here. They had Jesus in the flesh. They had no reason for a sign. They've already had Jesus and his miracles. And so what will it take if the ones who are standing in front of Jesus rejected Jesus? What will it take for you who have not seen Jesus, to believe him? They did not believe him when they were standing right in front of him. What will it take for you to believe Jesus is the Son of God, is the Bible enough? Or do you have to have something else? Thank you for joining me for another episode of Morning Meditations. Let's be like the psalmist and say, "Oh, how I love you, Lord. It is my meditation all the day." See you next time.
Morning meditations, oh how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night.